Searching for this all my life. You're just my type. I've been looking for a boy who can treat me right. Your dark hair, but those eyes so bright.
Hello, welcome back, and happy Lunar New Year here from Scheananigans. We are in the year of the fire horse, the first time in 60 years, and I am so excited. I've taken ChatGPT's advice, and I'm wearing my power color, which is emerald green. I've got my gold accents and my red shoes. So anyways, it's been a minute since I've been in the studio with my two guests today. We've got Kiki, Monique, and Ryan Bailey.
Hello.
How we doing?
Good. How does chat know that your power color is emerald?
So based off my birth chart
Okay, I didn't
and
know.
my time of birth, I did a deep dive last night.
Okay.
It's very interesting. I'm
Love
like,
it.
okay, what should I do? What shouldn't I do? What should I wear? What shouldn't I wear? I should not be in all black for the first 3 to 15 days of the Lunar New Year because that blocks out
Oh.
the energy.
3 to 15 days.
The the first 2 weeks, not all black. You can have black accents, or if you wear all black, have a red shoe or a pop of color or something like that, red lipstick. But
oh my God.
not
do you know
all
how
black.
I was late today because it took me so long to find an outfit not black in my
Everything
closet.
I own is
know.
all
I
black, and so
I
now I'm in a
know.
weird tan jacket and a red T-shirt.
just for the first 2 weeks, figure it out.
And I took a shower last night, and now my hair is bone dry, and I didn't know if I could put hair
I
in
did
it. So
too.
I look like we haven't had water in a month. Yeah.
I mean, there are all the things, that you're not supposed to do
Yeah.
today, things you're supposed to do, supposed to eat. I'm adhering to all of it.
Yes.
I am just feeling a little extra pep in my step today. The year of the snake is behind us. We've shed all the bad energy and bringing on the fire horse energy.
Yeah. No, I did so much shedding. I don't know if I had subconsciously knew that Lunar New Year was coming up, but this weekend I was like, I'm going to spend Valentine's weekend just loving myself. And I called the junk removal people. I had all this junk taken out of my house. Then I had the TaskRabbit guy come over. He hung all this stuff. I'm getting my bedroom all pink and girly.
Ooh, I love that.
And I was like, I feel at peace.
Yeah, good.
Wow, junk removal. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's really exciting when we have these things that give you kind of hope for something better or something new. And so I was talking to Crystal Minkoff yesterday,
Yeah.
who was walking me through all of these traditions and stuff. But it is so funny. We were talking earlier that I have not really, I didn't know a lot about the Lunar New Year before this year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
A few years ago, I went over to my friend Jenny Ting's house and we made dumplings, and she introduced us to all of the traditions, superstitions, and all of the things. But the last couple years, I haven't really leaned into it as much as I've been hearing about the fire horse energy. And then I started doing a deep dive into what does that exactly mean for me. I know Allie should be my resident astrologer, which she's one of, but I also follow Amy Demure. And this woman has been speaking to my soul with what this year means for Taurus placements. I'm a Gemini rising. And it was just everything she's been saying, I was like, you are so spot on.
Okay.
Wow.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Jeez.
And what's also crazy is things that my psychic told me back in August are a lot of the things that Chat GPT was saying last night in accordance to my birth chart. What months are going to be the most prosperous for me, what months I need to really protect my energy. And it was just so wild because I was like, holy shit. My psychic also told me there's going to be a shakeup in that month, which I mean, sure, you have a chance to 1 in 12, but the fact that she didn't know my birth chart.
Yeah.
And when I plugged that into Chat last night, was telling me the exact same thing. I was like, are you psychic?
Which by the way, Scheana comes in and we said something and she goes,
Earth tones.
She goes, ask Chat. And I thought she was saying to us that we're Chat. And I didn't realize she was talking about Chat GPT. And I was like, is that what we're doing now? If I
First
ask
name
her,
basis.
hey, Chat. And then you first named your Chat GPT.
Well, my daughter did. And your daughter will too.
Oh my God.
She's like, Mom, just ask Chat.
Oh, my God. No,
Last
you asked your
night-
dad. Yeah.
Daddy doesn't know. That is what's wild. And just going through all the tours for private schools right now. And it's oh, how are you utilizing AI, with your education and whatnot? It's so crazy that these kids will never understand what it's like to have to go to a library, get an encyclopedia and read to find out one piece of information. You just go, hey, Chat, last night we're driving home from Palm Springs, her and her best friend, and she goes, how did the Earth start? And then she asks Chat, and Chat starts going into like galaxies. She goes, no, Chat. I don't want to know about the galaxies. I want to know about the Earth. How did the Earth start? And it was just like, then she's going into all the scientific, the big boom, the da-da-da-da. But it was like,
But the
so
curiosity
wild.
is that's the amazing part. But I think the scary part is that search for it, like, helped with critical thinking
Yes.
and helped with being able to form a lot of different opinions,
Yeah.
except getting this one opinion where at the same time, you don't know what that's based on. It's all of this collective research, but that's the part that scares me. It's even like Spotify of like when I was growing up, it was just like you were at the mercy of your parents' CD collection. And so
Right.
you're like, why am I listening to Michael Bolton? It's because my mom has.
Yeah.
And then it's like your friends would like turn you on to new music. And now with Spotify or Apple Music, you have everything. And so it makes it so impossible to find something because you have access to everything.
Yeah.
Everything at your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worry about that. I feel like future generations are almost becoming like this carbon copy, and it's becoming, you know how when you keep carbon copy or you keep
Yeah.
making a copy, it becomes less
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
less. Like I've been obviously watching like Love Story, the JFK and Carolyn
Mhm.
Bessette, and it's like even just watching sort of like the Calvin Klein of it all and how fashion and how people had these like ideas and thoughts. And I'm like, we don't have that much anymore because I think that like we are losing some of this critical thinking and people having to research and dive into things. And like we're just kind of like, oh, what is it? And it makes me a little bit sad. I feel like we're losing the texture.
I get that, but I do watch the wheels in her brain turning
Yeah.
when she's asking Chat questions and she wants to learn more. It's like Chat will give her that answer and she's like, okay, but like she always has a follow-up question. So I feel like that is her
Yeah.
critical thinking, and it is something that we have to accept. Raising Gen Alpha kids
Yeah.
this is a part of their curriculum now. So how can we use it to our advantage and not be afraid of it because it's not going anywhere?
I think we have to like make sure that the information that they're being fed is coming from a reliable source. 'Cause
Right.
that's the worrisome part where it's like if it starts getting fed by a person that's like, okay, we're just going to tell them the information that this is what we believe they need to
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
We need to be able to say like, that is not correct.
Right.
You are not getting correct information.
Well, it's just like there was a Malcolm Gladwell essay about like handwriting, how handwriting is going the way of the dodo bird because everything's on computer, everything's typed out.
Oh, yeah.
Is that, people don't really know how to write long form letters or anything like that
Mhm.
anymore. And you're like, that's bizarre. I spent so much time learning how to do shitty cursive and now
Literally.
it's going away.
Oh yeah, athletes can't even sign their own. Like there was an athlete who went to sign his like contract and didn't know how to
It's like,
sign because he doesn't know what
That's
cursive is.
Dark stuff.
They
Yeah.
don't teach cursive anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
At
Tom
all.
Brady. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so crazy. When I was in Palm Springs, I was going through, my dad had brought a bunch of boxes from their storage in their garage of all my childhood stuff. Junior high, I had a whole box of the worst year of my life. I genuinely thought everything from that time in my life was gone because it wasn't in my storage, but it was buried in a corner, as it should be, my parents' garage. So my dad gives it
What
to me.
year are we talking about here?
1997, 1998. The worst years of my entire life. And I start going through this box and it just flooded me with so many horrible memories and things that
Wow.
started to come up in EMDR therapy. But then I opened this shoebox and it's jam-packed with hundreds of handwritten letters.
Oh wow.
And I was like, oh my God. So I start opening them and I was just like, oh my God. Like the way I talked back then, little Chola Scheana, it was like.
Wait, can we read some of
Yeah,
these?
by the way,
together one day?
How much are you
I
willing to
will-
part with these for?
I'll bring
Yeah.
my diaries in if you bring your diaries in.
It was so wild. But then there was one part where I said to my friend, I was like, PS, like, and then it was like PS, PPS, or PSS, whatever.
Oh, you must
And,
have done a lot of PSs.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yes.
PSSSSS. Yeah.
But I'm like, don't worry. I won't let those girls do anything to you at my birthday party. Like, I was just like, good. So I had her back. Okay. It was like,
Proof.
but it was wild. And I still keep in touch with that girl. And I had sent her a DM. I was like, the craziest thing. I said, I found this letter I wrote to you, but I maybe never gave it to you. Like, I don't know why I have your letter.
Yeah.
And I was like, but look at this shit. It was front, back, front,
Oh my
back.
God. Yeah.
How did we have that much time to write?
Because it was so fun to write. Okay, I wanted to ask you because as I was doing my cleanup, obviously I came across like I have like a tote and I have a trunk that's like full of like these old photos and memorabilia. What do you do with that? Like, do you digitize it? Do you just keep it in the box? Like, I don't want to get rid of it because it is this life, but like,
Yeah.
what do you do with it?
I mean, I just build more storage and I keep it in the box.
Yeah, I mean,
My garage is very organized. I have
Okay.
everything labeled, but I just keep it all. And then one day when I'm not here, I mean, who cares what happens to it? That'll be up to
Well, that's why
summer,
it was
I guess.
interesting. Like,
I'd love to be in charge of your archives.
I know. Well,
That
that's
would
what
be
I'm saying.
great,
Do
yeah.
you want people to
I'll
read
add
that
it to the
stuff?
will.
Because, Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, in her You See in Love story, I don't know if this is true, but she's burning all of her correspondence from over the years because she's like, when I die, I don't want people going through this stuff. And I was kind of like, that's true. Like, do I just have a self-destruct mode where it's like, I don't know if I want people.
Well, that's what we were talking about like
Yeah.
our digital presences after we pass, is that I was always hoping there'd be a kill switch, or something. Because,
right.
Also, because just imagine your text messages where you're being snarky with a friend in the like your darkest, sickest humor,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden somebody has access to that. Of like, there should be some sort of kill switch so you can protect yourself. I don't mean Epstein shit, but I just mean like
Yeah.
just like stupid stuff and silly stuff that without context would be really. But there was an article this week that Mark Zuckerberg is developing a product where they will be able to post in your voice after you pass. And I'm like,
What?
who needs that? Yes, that they would be able to, through AI, continue to post. I was like, people are going to make shitty Bravo memes in my voice? Like, that sounds not helpful to anybody.
Yeah. No, that is crazy. And when I was going through the stuff, I said to my mom, I was like, oh my God, if you read any of that, you would feel like the worst mom in the world. And she looked at me like, well, why would you want to make me feel? I was like, no, I'm just saying, like, don't ever look at it because, like, I was in a very dark place.
But why
and,
would you tell her that? 'Cause
I don't
then
know.
gets
It
in
was
her
word
head.
vomit. I
And
was
now
just
she's
Mom,
gonna,
you
like-
won't believe what I found.
And now she's going to look for that stuff.
She's definitely going to
Yeah.
look for it. Yeah.
No, but it was just like, it took me back to
Yeah.
a very dark place. I found one of my yearbooks that I remember when I gave it to my friends, quote unquote, to sign. Every photo of me in the yearbook, I was on like the yearbook staff, honor society, like all of them. They scratched out my face, like they drew stuff all over it. They wrote in like the box of certain people, it was like whore, slut, this and that. And it was like stupid white girl, fuera. It was just like, it was so mean.
Jesus.
Wow.
And my mom's like, why are you keeping this? I was like, I don't know, but I'm going to keep it. I might want to look at it again one day. I don't know why.
But that's part of Lunar New Year. Let that shit go.
Well, not
Get it-
today. Don't
Yeah,
throw
no,
anything out.
you're
No.
screwed now. But yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I do want to get into Lunar New Year. We're going to take a quick break and then get into all the things. We'll be right back. Okay, so I don't know if y'all were fans of America's Next Top Model like I was back in the day. I remember being in college, watching this show. So iconic. But even if you weren't a fan of the show, let me tell you that you are going to want to watch this documentary on Netflix because it gives you a behind the scenes look. You have, oh my gosh, so many different perspectives. And I mean, this is about a show, America's Next Top Model, that was iconic. It was chaotic. And honestly, it was kind of unhinged. There are things that were okay in 2003 that when you watch it back now, you're like, oh, that would not fly today. But for better or worse, it shaped an entire era of pop culture. And now Tyra Banks, Jay Manuel, Nigel Barker, Miss J, Alexander, several top models and more are featured in this explosive new documentary about the show. Trust me, you do not want to miss this. I could not stop binging it. It's 3 episodes. It's 3 hours long. It goes by so fast. It leaves you wanting more. It's called Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model, and it's now playing only on Netflix. Okay, so today is the Lunar New Year. We are entering the year of the fire horse. I could not be more excited. So from the Chinese zodiac system, which combines one of the 12 animal signs with one of the 5 elements, wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, the horse represents movement, independence, passion, and bold action. And when it's paired with the fire element, that energy just gets like super amplified. So this is really exciting for us because fire is associated with visibility, charisma, intensity, and transformation. A fire horse year is considered especially dynamic, fast-moving, ambitious, sometimes a little bit unpredictable, It's all about momentum and courage and taking decisive action rather than overthinking, which I need to remember.
Okay.
And one of the things chat was saying last night was to protect my energy, not to overexert myself, not to be overly exhausted, focus on sleep. I've got my aura ring, which I need to switch to my gold one because it's one of my power colors. So we're going back to gold. Good as gold. But the horse equals action and freedom, and fire equals passion and power. So together, this energy is big, bold, confident, and all about charging forward, but it can also burn hot. So it's important to channel that energy intentionally instead of impulsively. And the coolest thing that chat said to me last night was protecting your energy will protect your income.
Okay.
And that just hit like the nail on the head for me with the decisions
Yeah,
I've
you
made
already
in
did
my
it.
career.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit, chat
Yeah.
knows.
Is Chad ever like send nudes? You look great today, by the way.
I have an Australian woman. She hasn't asked for those yet.
Good day, mate. Hey, Scheana.
So there are 6 things that we're supposed to avoid. Obviously, by the time you guys are listening to this, today has passed. Hopefully you did them. But I was reading about how this day is basically just like an energetic reset. What you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you should wear, what you should eat, all of the things. And it just really sets the tone for the entire year of the fire horse. There was a feng shui expert who shared that it's not about celebrating, but about being intentional and avoiding certain missteps so that you can just really call in prosperity. So this year's energy, all about finally tackling the goals you've been putting off. You already started doing that with your junk removal.
Mhm.
I know that's something you've been wanting to do. Are you getting the nursery ready for baby
Yeah,
girl?
nursery's ready, yeah.
When is she due again?
5 weeks, 5.5 weeks, yeah.
Oh my
It's
God, that's
crazy.
so
very,
soon.
Very crazy, yeah.
Wow. Okay,
yeah.
so what I need you to do is send me, I don't need to know her name yet. I'm not going to.
Oh, I'll tell you.
Oh,
yeah.
wait.
Well, and I have a funny story about that too.
Okay.
Because, and Rebecca told me to tell you,
Yes.
is that her name's Romy,
I love
R-O-M-Y.
that, like Romy and Michelle.
But you'll love this, and this is just my karma for
Uh-huh.
your baby name, was that I was on the Jeff Lewis show, and I said to Rebecca, I said, hey, can I tell Jeff? And she took that as meaning, can I tell Jeff personally? Which is crazy because I don't like call
You-
up Jeff and like share
Stop
things
it.
with
You
Jeff.
outed it yourself and you
So
weren't
I
supposed
said
to.
it on the radio, and I got home, and she's like, "We have to talk." And I was like, "What did I do now?" And she was like, "What'd you say on the radio?" And I was like, "I say a lot of stupid stuff on the radio." Like,
Foot in mouth,
and she
Ryan.
was like, "You said the baby's name," and I said, "I asked you. You said you asked Jeff. Can I tell Jeff?" And I said, "What do you think? I just don't share. Like, I don't call Jeff and just go buddy buddy with him. I meant on the radio, of course." And she goes, "This is the only time that you took this from me. This is my only," and I was like,
Oh.
and then
Aw.
it all ended up, but then she was like, "You got to tell Scheana. This is your karma. This is your karma."
Okay, so I have a bag full of stuffies for you from Summer Moon in the car.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have the photo yet because I wanted her to address it to the baby.
Oh, that's wow.
I was like, do I address it to you? But
No,
I
that'd
think
be
it should
creepy,
be
yeah.
for Romy.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And
actually.
also, if there's any like a color theme or something like a scheme you're going for in the nursery, I can have her like add that to it. Not that it has to be hung up in the nursery, but just
I mean,
something that.
yeah, screw my baby. I'll hang it up. Yeah.
Wait, I love this because obviously you're going with our names because Rebecca, Ryan.
We didn't even think about that.
Really?
We're not trying to be like the Kardashians or anything like that, but we're still like undecided on the middle name. That's been
Okay.
like a back and forth.
Because what's your middle name?
Kyler.
And what's Rebecca's middle name?
Dawn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we're trying to find out what musically works with Romy, Bailey, because those 2 Y's are a little.
I feel like
Uh-huh.
you need 3 syllables. I don't know why, but like
I was like,
Oh, see, and I was thinking one.
because I was like,
Like
Romy,
Romy
one
Moon
or
Bailey.
3?
Romy
not
Jax
2.
Bailey, Romy Schwartz Bailey,
Uh-huh.
Romy Scheana Bailey. I was
No,
trying to,
that's-
none of
it's
that.
2 syllables.
I think
doesn't work.
2 syllables gonna work. I think 1 or
It's
3 syllables.
2 doesn't work.
Yeah.
Either 1 or 3.
It's a lot of pressure because then you have to put it on the birth certificate there.
Yeah.
They won't let you leave.
And then talk to
know.
Kylie Jenner about how difficult it is to change
Uh-huh.
after.
Do you have her number? Like, you ever, it's-
Yeah, no, you have to do that before
yeah.
you leave.
I can't believe they just let us take
Which
the
is-
baby out of there like after like 2 days.
It's kind of crazy they
Wild.
force you to like choose a lifelong name in that moment when you've just had like this crazy experience?
You've had 10 months to think about it. You should know by now. You see the baby?
Oh, this is-
that's the name.
Well, this is,
Well, like that's what I'm saying. You see, it might feel different. I don't know.
I don't want to get
got
off.
a day to figure it out.
Sorry to get off topic, but now I'm good. Did you have a birth plan in terms of music? Because Rebecca has like got a playlist that's insane. Like it's like Mariah Carey. Like there's like You Got Me Feeling Emotions. Like it's insane. She wants lights
So-
low.
Interesting choices.
Yeah, very interesting choices. Yeah.
Short answer, no. I had no birth plan whatsoever
You
other
didn't?
than no. Because I, with my OCD, did not want to go into the hospital and be like, I have to have the epidural then, or I don't have the epidural at all, and I have to have this and that. Because your plan is most likely going to go to shit.
Yeah.
I say that from just knowing so many women who have a birth plan.
Yeah, exactly.
And it very rarely works out exactly as you want. The music, sure, that's great. I think we were maybe playing Tiny Dancer or something that like calmed me. That was the song I played before I froze my eggs. Is they were like, what song do you want to hear before like we put you under? That maybe was like the only thing. But when you are pushing and screaming and pooping on the table, you don't give a fuck what song
do
is
not.
playing.
Rebecca,
So the poop
Rebecca, don't
on the
listen to
table
this.
is real?
Oh, and she's
Damn
like,
it. Oh my God.
every time he's like, oh, the tearing and this and that, and she's it's
She might not
very-
tear. I didn't tear. I only needed one stitch. It was like not a bad recovery.
yeah.
So, and it's like you never know. Your plan might be a natural birth, but then you have to have a C-section, or a vaginal birth, but then you have to have a C-section.
exactly.
It might be if you want it natural and you don't want meds, but then you really need those meds. It's like you
We're
don't
just,
know.
Yeah, we're just hoping for healthy. But we did a bit on my show
Mhm.
where I was like, I'm in control of the DJ, and so I was like, I'm doing good as gold. And then I was like, imagine you're crowning, and then all of a sudden, Raise Your Glass starts
All
playing.
open Pandora's box. Pandora's box. Out comes Romy. Oh my gosh. Well, 5 weeks. And at
Yeah.
this point, like it could be any day.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's the thing that we keep.
Home stretch is
And she's definitely feeling it. And, she's like, some days are amazing. And then some days are, just the body is changing so much. And you're just
Yeah.
like, I can't believe
Are you
you've
going
done
weekly
this.
now to the doctor?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We
Mhm.
go back tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Yeah. I just can't wait to see her and meet her and
Yeah.
all of that stuff and just see what there's so much anticipation
Yeah.
that you're like, I just want to see her, but then I want to see how our life,
Yeah.
what it turns into, you know?
Yeah. That is one thing I will say. Have you guys discussed like parenting styles
Yeah.
and whatnot? Because after, it's like the baby, I want to say is easy. It was terrifying for me, but it's a baby. They eat, they poop, they pee. It's like rinse and repeat every
Yeah.
few hours. But then as the kid starts talking, when the kid goes into school, when it's like eating, like there's so many things
Yeah.
that just try to have the best communication and align as much as possible and understand each other's side. Because when Brock is harsh with Summer, it hurts my soul. But I know she needs someone stern. She can't just have two parents who are her best friends who just like go
Yeah.
with the flow. Like she needs that. But then I'm there for the emotional support. And so I used to fight with him a lot about this, but now I'm like, okay, like yesterday, for example, she was having a fit on her bike. The sun was in her eyes, and then it was all downhill from there. Tried to give her my glasses. He tried to give her hat. Nothing was helping. I'm like, you can get off the bike and walk. Or she's like, I just want you to push me. And he was like, you're not pushing her, Scheana. I understand that you do need that firmness at times. She needs structure. She needs that. And so I just started, and we're with her little best friend. So I just start walking with Lila on the bike. And then she's like, Mommy, wait. And she starts pedaling as fast as she can. He's like, see, she's doing it. And I'm like, I know.
See, there's going to be
but-
1,000 decisions every day like that. and I
Yeah,
think
pick your
that's
battles.
Yeah.
But right now, let's pick what to do and not to do for Lunar New Year.
Yes.
Okay, so there are a few things you're supposedly not supposed to do on the actual day. And this is if you want just the perfect energetic reset. So first, no cleaning, no sweeping. Everything was supposed to be done before midnight last night. I got home from Palm Springs. Salem he makes a mess in the cat litter. It's like, I swear, there's boy cats and girl cats. The girl is always, Penny Lane, perfectly clean. Salem is just like a mess. He's got litter on his nose. It's in his paws. I'm just like, how do you make such a mess? He's just such a boy. So the idea is that you don't want to sweep away your fresh good luck. So I'm just going to be stepping on whatever litter there is today. I put the broom outside, so I'm not even tempted to sweep. Second, no arguing or
Yes.
complaining, because what you say on New Year's Day is believed to set the tone for the year. So keep it positive, save the drama for tomorrow, you know? Third, avoid.
Are we allowed to see? Are we allowed to talk shit about pop culture?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
like,
We're
is
not
that negative, or
arguing.
is that-
Yeah.
No, I just wanted
We've-
like because I have to like do that the rest of the day, including here. I'm like, do I have to be positive about like?
Just don't complain. Like if you watch
Okay.
something that was, just don't complain about it.
I
Try
love
to talk
Tyra
about
Banks. She's amazing in the new.
Oh, I want to get into that.
God.
I definitely want to get into that. But we don't. There's no complaining.
okay,
It's
okay.
let's talk about it in a
it.
positive way and how far we've
Analysis,
come. You
yeah.
know
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. The third one is avoid knives or scissors if you can, because sharp objects are said to cut luck or relationships. So no cutting anything today. I opened all of my boxes last night. I was like,
all your
broke them all
PR,
down.
you're like
All of them.
yeah.
Yeah, I got some good stuff. The fourth one, no one's washing their hair today. Don't cut
Yeah.
your hair. Don't trim your beard. None of that. It's symbolic of washing away your fortune right as it comes in. So none of that. I know we've washed our hair last night, right?
Yeah.
No,
That's why it's so
and I was
dry.
smoking cigarettes last night too. I know.
Ooh, okay,
So
well,
we're just
Jill's
gonna
just
like
All
live in
right.
that. Bask in that
I
for the day. The fifth one, and it's so funny. I don't remember who it was, but I remember I had a dream about this last night that someone asked me to borrow money. And I was about to Venmo them today. And I was like, oh, wait, I can't. There's no borrowing or lending money today.
Yeah, and you're
'Cause
supposed
you don't want to start the year in a deficit or sending your abundance out the door.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
to. That's where you're supposed to pay off your debts or
Yes.
before
Yes.
today. Yeah.
And finally, try your hardest not to break anything. Breaking objects symbolizes loss. So maybe, I don't know, let someone else handle the fragile stuff if you're a little clumsy, like me. But it's just all about protecting your energy, starting the year of the fire horse on the strongest and just most abundant path possible. So I was actually talking to Kristen Doute yesterday about this, and I was like, oh my God, because it's her birthday today. And I was like, birthday and Lunar New Year, fire horse, like this is going to be such a great year for you. And she goes, yeah, and I broke something today. And she's like, good thing it wasn't tomorrow. I was like, just don't break anything tomorrow, Kristen. Don't touch anything. She is so accident prone. I'm like,
Yeah.
just sit, hold your baby, watch TV,
Wow.
safe. But yeah, so those are all of my Lunar New Year things that I am just leaning into. I'm going to be wearing lots of green and gold and red. And it also said to wear something new today. This outfit is kind of new, but I've never worn this necklace before.
Okay.
So I just had to add a little
For those
something.
listening, Scheana's wearing a gold necklace, a beautiful gold necklace.
Okay, moving on. Wait, have you been filming? Are you on the new Flipping Out?
It's no, I'm not like a. I don't know how. I'm not a.
Are you a friend of?
I'm a friend. Yeah, I would say I'm a friend of. So
Okay.
I've been. There's a lot of events happening. Like we just
Uh-huh.
did a karaoke party on Friday, and then we did a special radio thing on Saturday for Valentine's Day, and so I've been at those events, and I've been mic'd up a couple of times. I don't know
Okay.
what I'm allowed to say, but it's been
You
really.
can say everything here.
Yeah.
on Scheananigans.
No,
Yeah.
I just from somebody that's like studied this
Mm.
stuff and watched this stuff for so long, it's really fascinating to watch it put together and
Yeah.
how real it is, but also how the crews move. And I
Uh-huh.
now see like, oh, you really sometimes don't know if they're picking up what you're saying. Like you can really see how people don't know until the edit what actually is heard or
Yeah.
seen or what they're focusing on. And it's been exciting, but it's also been I think very eye-opening where there was I think one of the first days that it was filming, I'm not sure what will be shown or something, but there is some sort of blow up that happens where I'm right next to it where I think I'm just like agog. I'm like my mouth, like my jaw was unhinged and I was like, this is insane. Like
Mhm.
it's very and not that it changes anybody, but I feel like the particles of the air like become different and all of a sudden all of these issues come to the forefront and but at the same time it's been really fun to watch and it'll be really great because I know so many of the people that are involved in it that I can't wait to see how they're portrayed
Yeah.
on it. But I'm so thankful. Like there was a moment where I think they were potentially wanting to film the baby shower
Uh-huh.
and that was just like a no-go. It was a no-go.
Was it a no-go by you or by Rebecca?
Both of us.
Okay.
But it was just because that was supposed to be her day or our day.
For
It was-
sure.
and it was
You had
They're ju-
reality TV cameras,
yeah,
and
like,
that
I-
day goes down the
and not
drain.
this is nothing with Jeff or like that. It was just that I couldn't be assured that there wasn't going to be a blow up,
Mhm.
and that would like as
Yeah.
part of me would find that a little funny just because of what I do in life. There's
Not
just
for her.
not for her. Like and we had our families there. There was our like my dad broke his teeth, so he was like 2 teeth out. I was
There's
like,
the
this
drama.
is already
Yeah.
embarrassing as hell. I had to text Jeff because Jeff's never met my dad. I said, "Hey, just heads up, my dad broke his teeth, and I want you guys to meet." But he's like, "I can't wait." I was like, and so they wait, but the photographer AI'd my dad's teeth into the photos.
Stop
Oh
it.
my
Yes,
Oh, that's
because
great.
he and it's like my poor mom's not here anymore, and my mom would have killed my dad. I mean, like I could hear my mom's voice so presently, going, "How dare you?" Not? It was just such a fluke accident. Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's crazy. My mom just had a psychic reading / massage. There's this woman who's based in
We've
Vegas.
gone too far in life.
But while you're getting the massage, she's your chakras, your energy, all of this. And my dad's mom came through when you said teeth. It reminded me, and she said she just lost it because right when my Oma passed away, my mom said we have to put her teeth in before, like, you can't, open the jaw because that happened with my mom's dad. And my Oma came through and said, "Thank you for the teeth." And it was just like, oh my God. Like my mom goes, that was so crazy. Like there's always just those moments when we have psychic readings where it's like, you can't make this up. You can't Google this.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Wow.
Okay, so moving on because I have some questions. It was just announced that your co-host Kiki Dorinda will be joining the cast of Ease the Golden Life with some of her fellow Roni ladies. Is she the replacement of Jill? Is that where we're going with this? Because obviously she was fired.
I don't know what's been said. I mean, I think that if that show was going forward, I don't think that there would have been a show where we wouldn't have seen her a part of her friend's life.
For sure.
But I do think that the Jill of it all probably made it even more like we definitely need this person here.
And they
you know?
wanted to rush that announcement a little bit to put positivity
Yeah.
back into the project.
Because
Right.
people, I think, had a bad taste in their mouth because they're just like, we were excited about this, but now we're like weirded out, but now we're excited again.
Yeah.
And so I think that was like
and
a
everyone's
good...
loving her on Traders. So.
Yeah, exactly. So I think she's in like a really good just like momentum. So I'm excited. I mean, like it's been fun like doing the debrief of Traders on air with her. So like it'll be even more fun. Like obviously I haven't really where she's been like a main member of a show and co-hosting. I think that'll be so much fun.
I love that.
It'll be. I mean, the Jill of it all. It'll be interesting because I don't have information about this, but I feel like with Eve firing Jill or not having her a part of this project, they're really putting their foot down of like we want a light, funny project. And so I'm like, oh, so is this like a 30-minute as opposed to an hour? Because I feel like if you have like a 43-minute hour show, then you're going to get into more real life issues. Because I was speculating like, oh, I didn't think they were going to let go of Jill. I thought they were going to keep her. And I was like, oh, then you just make the first episode. Jill canceled herself and having the other ladies. But them doing that, they're sending a clear statement of we do not want to talk about the world at large right now.
Yeah.
Right. What are your thoughts on Jill's non-apology?
I mean, I don't think we'll ever get one because I don't think she legitimately thinks she did anything wrong, and this is like the inherent problem.
I took it down.
And
it's like after how long?
Exactly.
And how many
human.
messages of people telling you to take it fucking down?
Surprise!
And you took it down and then put it back up because I remember at one point I saw it and then it was gone and then it was back up. So it's like, it's just a weird thing. And, like, I just think I find the hilarity in that, like, Jill was supposed to be part of that original Roni reboot, and she was the reason that never happened. And then she, like, got herself canceled from something that she was, I think, a big part of why this show was even happening.
Right.
And that she got fired before it even started filming. I don't know. It's just hilarious to me.
And then her step grandson did a Reddit Ask Me Anything. Where it came out that it was like the Zarin family seems to really passionately dislike Jill.
Yeah.
And all of this information was spilled, and Zarin Fabrics put a big X around Jill. Like Zarin Fabric, I thought Jill still was a part of Zarin Fabrics. And it's like they haven't had anything to do with Jill in years. But they wanted to make it known. And I was like, that is wild.
Yeah.
Because at that point, to Kiki's point is that you're like, I don't think Jill's going to change, but I would love, I would love for her to genuinely realize what the uproar is, And, like,
Right.
you're obviously not canceled. You're still
Yeah.
living a more successful life than I would say 98% of America.
Yeah.
But is there a way in which we can actually try to understand each other? Or like, this seems to be a common occurrence with Jill.
Yeah.
And the thing is that that's the great thing about the Dorinda announcement is because everybody was like, well, I'm shocked it wasn't Ramona. So it's like the Dorinda thing is great to put a little bit of a positive spin back on it. Because all of a sudden you saw Sonia, Luann, everybody's posting Bad Bunny in their stories. Like,
Which was
we love him.
Kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I mean, I think she posted every Latino friend, but I'm like, again, this is Puerto Rico. It's a part of America, but okay.
Teresa Giudice used the Bad Bunny song like the next day on one of her
Yeah.
Instagram
Oh, yeah.
slides without saying it. I was like, man, it's so funny to wake up and
Yep.
every Bravo celebrity is posting like
Right?
a Bad Bunny song,
I
you know?
love it. Well, speaking of Sonia Morgan, she had posted that the show will be on E and streaming on Hulu. And I'm like, was that a mistake or
Well,
did she reveal
cannot-
some tea?
Hulu came, they came out and said it will not be on
It will
Hulu.
not be on
so
Hulu.
I don't know where
Oh,
she got
okay.
that information.
So
and
she
why
meant to probably say Peacock and she just said Hulu. And then they're like, no.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't want it.
Yeah, it's so right. Yeah, Sonia's crazy, but also this is why I'm glad that we'll be seeing her on air.
Yeah.
Again, because
But this is also what happens when it's like with reality stars is that a lot of these people they're not singers, they're not dancers, writers, actors. It's like this is who they are. And sometimes we get the benefit of watching them, but then it's like they think we need their opinion on everything. And I just
Yeah.
still wonder if Jill was riding that wave of like mainly positivity where everybody was like, we're so excited to have you back. Where she was like, you know what? I got to get on here and tell him my Bad Bunny impression. Like, was it that feel of like, I'm so high on myself and this positivity that I think they want to know every one of my thoughts?
Yeah, we don't.
yeah,
We
Yeah.
do.
you can keep a lot of them. Yeah, to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, because I have you guys here, I still want to stick with reality TV. And it's not that it necessarily needs to be positive, but it can be constructive and analytic. Okay. Because we have to talk about the reality check inside America's Next Top Model documentary that is on Netflix. Have you guys watched it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, all 3 parts.
Yeah.
Me too. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think they could have even gone further.
Oh, they could.
I could have taken 3 more
Totally.
episodes.
They could have done an episode for each cycle, and I
Exact-
would have been
Right.
all in it
I didn't realize how many cycles that show had.
because I stopped watching, and obviously we know why. Because I was like,
Of
oh yeah,
course.
this is why I had stopped watching. Yeah.
But then when Tyra said like cycle 25, you have no idea like what's coming. I'm like, wait, the show's coming back?
Well, that's
That's-
why I think that this maybe even docuseries was happening because I think she wanted to bring it back.
But Netflix made a point coming out saying she is not a producer on this. She didn't have, but at the same time, not that this documentary had a completely negative slant. I mean, it definitely showed its issues. Why would you then, after watching 3 parts of all of the potential bad like slip ups that go like, we're back again. And
Yeah.
also talking about that, the contestants weren't really taken seriously in the modeling world.
Right.
So then what is so basically you're not doing modeling anymore. It's basically just, you can be an influencer
Yes.
on season 25.
Exactly.
Or cycle.
Yeah. So for those of you who haven't watched it yet, this documentary is so explosive. It features Tyra Banks, also Jay Manuel, Nigel Barker, Miss J. I mean, they talk about when they got fired and how that made them feel and who they blamed for it. It has top models giving their personal stories about things that they went through. And they're just so much is featured in this. It's a new documentary about the actual show. So it's called Reality Check Inside America's Next Top Model. And it's now playing on Netflix. It's like we all love reality TV and have, built careers to different capacities around this. But this documentary really makes you look at it differently. Like you can love reality TV and still question it. And when everyone in 2020 started doing a rewatch, they were really questioning what and how this got put on television back then.
And I was one of the biggest Tyra defenders when that rewatch was happening because I was like, you guys weren't there. You don't understand.
Mhm.
This is what reality TV was like. And I was literally like, kind of like, you guys just get over it. Then I watched this for myself and I was like, okay, hearing from the models themselves, first of all, it
Yeah.
unlocked so many memories that I either had buried.
Right.
But it also made me realize like there were so many insecurities that were birthed from me that like I had sort of forgotten about. That, you know, when they talked to model Danielle, she went by Danny at the time, and they were talking about her gap. So
oh my God.
I've always like, you know, like I've had a gap my whole life, and it's been something I've been weird about. But like I would always like look to like models like Lauren Hutton and people that, you know, like I was like, oh, they love their gap. And so when I saw Danny, of course, I was immediately drawn to her.
For sure.
And I remember that episode where they like forced her to close her gap. And then I hadn't thought about it, but I remember I was going to the dentist at the time asking about closing my gap. And I was like, why was I doing that? I was like so intent. And I realized it was probably because they told her, you're going home if you don't close this gap. As much as she fought it, she didn't want it. And I was thinking, well, yeah, if I don't close this gap, like I'll never be taken serious in the entertainment industry. So I got to close this gap. I got to find a dentist to close this gap. Luckily, I guess I couldn't find the right dentist because they kept telling me like the way they were going to do it, I would have like these huge bunny teeth. And I was like, well, that's
no.
worse. So no. But like, I just, you know, I realized there were so many things that from watching this at just this impressionable age that it was like,
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Especially having a daughter with a massive gap. When I was watching that, I was just like, oh, I don't ever want her to feel like if her adult teeth come in and she still has a gap, if she wants to fix it and wants to get Invisalign or braces, but I never want that to be forced on her for a job. It wasn't even a job.
Yeah.
Like it was, well, if you want to continue on this path, this is what you must do.
Well, that's why I'm so curious, because we have docuseries like this now, and people have grown up on reality television. If you choose to participate in reality television in the year of our Lord 2026, you know, at this point, like, you know, it's like, I feel like we have enough examples now, and you know, of like what producers or these people putting these shows together want. They want drama. They want these things. And so I do find it interesting. Has it made reality television better? Has it made it nicer? Has it made it these things? And I don't think it has, yet we have so much proof of it being somewhat destructive in these contestants' lives, right? Or even Tyra, because I was like Kiki, where I was like, well, man, you're the head of this thing. Like sometimes you're going to hurt people's feelings. Sometimes being the boss like her. But then there is this responsibility that I think you have as well, that she seems to, even in 2026, shy away from. Like she didn't even answer the questions about Jay, of like, you know, I mean, like
straight up skip that.
I mean, that's a huge part of the documentary, and you just choose not to comment on it.
Yeah, you can't say like, yes, like I created this thing, I was the head of this thing, but then when it comes to like, oh, well, I don't really know about those production decisions, like, you know, like I was just doing
no, you do know.
Like you actually do. And like I didn't like that she wasn't taking accountability. But with the Jay thing, that was one of your best friends in the world. And for you to ice him out because he was trying to move on, like, and you won't address it, and you say, I'm going to address it later. You're not, because we see you didn't. Miss J had a stroke, and you never even went to visit him.
That was, I mean, the three judges, that was the beautiful part of this.
Right.
I thought that was like the heart of the docuseries, where I think Tyra in her big Inspector Gadget trench coat was like, you know, it's like you were a part of this huge thing, and you still are out there, you know, being able to work and successful, but it is interesting. Why be a part of this? Like, what are you hoping? Because my thought was like, oh, is this just promo for Cycle 25? Is this just the launching pad for that?
Yeah, and I think it's her being like, okay, call me out on my shit. Here I am being accountable. It's like, but you're not fully being accountable.
Yeah,
and if you're not answering questions, that's not accountable.
Exactly.
But I think she thought she was.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what she was trying to do. And like, it was, you know, and I would love to see the contracts that they made these probably barely 18, 19-year-old girls sign, that they are probably, like, they can never probably sue. They can never disparage. They can only tell, you know,
100%.
their side. And it's like, it's so...
Well, I mean, think about it too, is that, you know, it's preying on the hopes and dreams of young people. It's like everybody that moves to California or Los Angeles. Everybody's here with hopes and dreams and this thought of this better life or some sort of pseudo celebrity. And so they're susceptible because we want to believe. We want to, like, and so those people walking in thinking, oh, Tyra has the answer. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. If I get picked for this competition, my career's made.
Yeah.
And in reality, they're just trying to make a good reality show. They're not really truly worried about their careers. And the one contestant that said, I lived with this model. I wasn't going out on castings. And they said, oh, yeah, we don't really take those models seriously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like that was because that's what's interesting. So, like in today, if you join a reality show today, even if it's like a 1 season thing, you can probably get a few brand deals and you can kind of make it into
Yeah.
something. Most of these girls did this show, went home, went back to their jobs at Walgreens,
Yeah.
and like that was it. Like
there was no tummy
noth-
tea to be sold back then. Yeah.
There were no FabFitFun boxes or Dip
Exactly, yeah.
eyewear.
Well, it's like you didn't even you weren't even able to ride the influencer wave.
Yeah.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. I mean, social media was non-existent then.
Yeah.
Take me back.
Mhm.
I think, over
Yeah.
50% of us, we want to go along. We want to play nice. We want to play ball. So, you put in these situations and you're like, well, it's the show goes on. I agreed to do this. And so you're susceptible and you feel a sense of responsibility, even not being the ones in charge, because you're like, well, we're all doing this thing. And so hopefully the ones that are in charge have my best interest at heart.
And it's like the pressure to maintain ratings and grow the show and the things that they did. I mean, some of these photo shoots, I just Unhinged
No.
is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Shooting with unhoused people as props, a gunshot victim
Ugh.
photo shoot when Dion's mom was a real life victim of a gunshot that Ken was just like, oh, that was a mistake. No,
There's no way that was a mistake.
There's no irony here. And then the switching ethnicities shoot, I mean, I feel like that was like maybe the first time they got backlash. And then they did it again, though, like
They did
9
it
cycles
again.
later.
Yeah.
Because it's rage bait. It
Yeah.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's so funny is like, Danielle says like, and when I did go to try to actually become a model, I couldn't use a single photo from or maybe it was Kenya who said it. I couldn't use a single photo from the shoot. And I remember what I would watch with my friends. I had one friend who was just like, these are not like modeling pictures. Like they won't be able to use them. And I remember being like, well, why not? They're being taken by a photographer.
Right.
I didn't understand at the
Yeah.
time, but she obviously had an eye and understood modeling. But I was just like, yeah, insane.
No, it's
But we all have stories. I mean, like not to that extreme, but we
wild.
all have stories where we did something because we trusted somebody else that we thought had our best interests at heart. And then
Never.
you wind up with some goofy ass photo or some, like it all happens.
Yeah, it's all been happening.
It's all happening. Yeah.
And like, I mean, I love reality TV. I love watching it. I love doing it. But when you're told something is causing harm and you don't change it, like at what point does it stop being ignorance and start being negligence? It's just,
Yeah.
it's wild. Go ahead.
That makes me so curious about the next season of The Valley to see how Lala, sorry to bring it, but like,
Oh, go ahead.
I do think about that sometimes of like the softer side of Lala is that's what's going to be projected, or is she thinks she's clocking in as this persona? That sometimes I think about because you're like, well, we want to see, well, that's it. And it's like, if I'm just seeing somebody that's clocking in on their job and they think them being full of bluster and having fights with people, that's what we want to see. I would argue that's not exactly it. I don't want to see the Daniel Day-Lewis of reality TV. I want to see who you actually are. And
Mhm.
especially as you get older.
Yeah, I feel like some people don't know who they actually are. They're worried about, reinventing themselves and this is what I need to be to mold this and to fit in here. And some people, I think, need to step away from this world to figure out who they are. Me
Mhm.
being one of those people. Had I decided to go in for season 3 of The Valley, I would not be in this place of growth and healing. I would have put my energy, which thanks to Taylor Swift, I now know is very expensive. I would have just put that at risk for ratings, for a paycheck, just because that's what I've always done and that's what I've always known. And
You're a good soldier.
yeah, I was. And now on to the year of the fire horse, bigger and better. There were things, I feel like for me, stepping away from reality TV right now, but then watching a documentary like the America's Next Top Model one, it brought up certain things for me that I remembered were maybe made light of in the moment. Like I remember season 5, I had really started working out for the first time in my life. I just lost the baby fat that I had from my early 20s. And I got really fit, but I also kind of lost my ass in the way I was working out. I don't think I was training in the right way for my body type. And I remember a comment where Jax like said something about my ass and how flat it was. And the camera pans over and like zooms in. I think I was wearing like gray skinny jeans or something. And I'm just like, and then the girls start talking about, oh, she's like anorexic, this and that. And I'm like, okay, look, coming from someone who actually did have an eating disorder in college, this is triggering. And then they weaponize that against me. And we're like, well, we all like wish we were anorexic. And like, we like, that's like such a compliment. And like, if someone ever says, you know, I'm too skinny, like that's a compliment and this and that. And I'm like, but I'm working really hard and that I don't take lightly. I don't take this as a compliment, but it was like used against me. And then as I'm watching on America's Next Top Model, hearing the judges, you know, critique their bodies and their weights, it's like that shit doesn't age well, you know. There was do you remember there was a website, it was called like Hot or Not back in the day?
That sounds familiar.
People would like upload their photo and then the internet would rate them hot or not on a scale of like 1 to 10.
Okay, that's sounding.
It's just like there was a whole era that normalized public humiliation.
Oh yeah.
And I mean it doesn't excuse it. It gives, you know, context, but there was one more thing I wanted to say that I related to. When Jay, Nigel, and Miss J all, you know, got fired and Tyra's like, oh, it wasn't up to me. It was like, I've been there, not once, but twice, when they're like, oh, well, you're going to be a friend of, but no one's going to know you're a friend of. We're going to pay you as a friend of, but you're still full time. It's not our decision. And I'm like, so whose decision was it? The network blames production blames the network. And then you're like,
that was what was interesting, because when Tyra said that it was this new guy who came in and took over for, you know, the woman who had left and it wasn't her decision, and anyone could go. But then we see the next evolution of America's Next Top Model and it's just Tyra. And I was like, was it his decision, or were you not okay with sharing the spotlight anymore and you sort of pushed towards that because it was the worst decision ever made?
It ruined the show.
I mean, that montage they did of all of her kookiness after that.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember that because I had stopped watching.
I didn't watch it then either.
It was a terrible error. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I do think that Tyra, look, again, I will never take away any of what Tyra has done for Black women, for Black models, any of that. But do I think a lot of this got to her head and maybe she has a little bit of narcissism?
How could it not, though,
yeah.
too? You know, when you are being like so much, I mean, when you actually fight for something that's been turned down by every network except for UPN, that has to like, and then it becomes successful based on your idea. That's got to really fill your head if everybody's loving you. And then if you start to lose that power, if you start to lose that, that's got to really throw you for a loop as well, because it's got to feel like the sky is falling to some degree. So I have empathy when thinking about Tyra, but it's a shame when real relationships like she seemed to have with Jay, or like the people that help you get there, business can be very cruel and cold, and you want your heroes to be the opposite of that. And I think a lot of people did or still do look up to Tyra in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and the fact that Jay Manuel wanted to leave the show after cycle 8, and then they were like, no,
through 18.
You're gonna do not just one more, 10 more, and then we're gonna fire you.
Yeah, is really, really crazy. But can I just say, I saw Nigel Barker outside of the Sirius XM studios in New York City, like when I was there last time. Still looks amazing. Still looks so good. But also, like, J also, like, I mean, even Miss J with this, like,
looks
still
great.
Looks so good.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, and that's where I've like, that gave me the heart of that docuseries.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it just says a lot when she's in a single talking head interview the whole time, and those people got to get together and talk about their experience, and with Miss J's stroke, and like, you know, that they genuinely have this relationship that has continued. And I thought that was like this beautiful thing to be taken from it. And it can be lonely at the top or wherever Tyra considers she is.
Yeah, if she's planning on bringing back 25 and it doesn't include those 3, I'm sorry. It's not going to be
I don't even know if they would do it.
But how amazing would it be if they did bring those? I mean, that's a step in the right direction.
That's the only way you can come back,
that's
truly.
The only way.
But it's like Dorinda, you know, the announcement for the Golden Life. You know, you want to get people excited. Like, so these are the negatives. So how do we then eschew the negative, sweep out the negative, and bring this positivity back into it. And if you got those 3 judges, I think because people then would not even just for the story of the models, they'd be looking at them like, how are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So for all of you listeners, if you haven't watched it, it is on Netflix now. 3-part documentary series. I mean, I couldn't stop watching it.
Well, is this, my question was, it says reality check inside America. So is this now going to be a series like reality check
wondering that
inside
too.
Flavor of Love?
Well,
reality
I
check?
hope so, because I hope
I
it
hope so.
drives traffic to Reality Checked, which is my
Exactly.
radio
I
show.
thought that
Monday,
too.
People
Monday
get
through
confused,
Thursday,
and
1
then they're like,
p.m., you guys.
Is this related? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. Come listen on Sirius.
Well, no, but don't you love those things? Because, we've been fighting, as silly as it sounds, for respect to be put on reality television's name. And when you have projects like this, you're like, great. It opens it up to so many people. There's so many discussions that can be had. There's so many stories that you're like, see, this is what I've been addicted to for these last couple of decades.
Yeah.
And it's finally starting to get a little more respect.
Yeah. Reality check inside Vanderpump Rules.
I love
it. Could,
it.
I mean, they could have this for literally
Yes.
every reality show
single
ever.
thing.
I mean, that's still my dream with Bravo, is to like be able to do a panel show or do a host where it's like Kiki and I and Gibson and all of these people, where you get to open up the Peacock vaults and do the history of Housewives, because it's like open the schools. People are wondering like, oh, the Valley Persian style. Well, I didn't watch Shaw's. You don't have to, first off. But let me take you through the top 5 amazing moments, season 1 through 5,
Right.
just to give you a little taste. Like, we need to walk people through what is so exciting, because there will be a day, even with Vanderpump Rules, 7 years when it's not going to be on the air. And I'm not talking about the new thing. It's like people will. No, I'm saying 7 years from now, people will start to maybe like Vanderpump Rules might not be as powerful of a memory for people as it is today.
Right.
So you want to keep that excitement alive for people. And I just still don't understand why Peacock doesn't do more with their catalog, because it's all there. And we just need to be able to curate it,
Yeah. Well, I'm just kind of sticking on that to wrap up the episode. Do you have any questions you want to get off your chest? If I don't see you again until you're officially
that I
a
die,
father?
I don't see, this is really dark. No, you know what? Just from a reality, somebody that talks about these shows' perspectives, I do wonder psychologically, and we have not talked about this, psychologically, how it feels about like the Valley season 3. We had the trailer, how it is in terms of watching this, knowing that you could have been a part of it, you chose not to, but how you deal with seeing people out there in the fray still talking, or the Lala, the Janet, the Brittany. Like, how do you deal with that? Have you prepped yourself for that?
Not fully. I mean, I think it'll be a week by week. I'm, of course, going to watch this season. TBD how much we discuss that here. But, a chunk of these people are still my friends. I was just with Zach, Danny, and Nia on Saturday night at the Abbey for an Ashley Simpson show.
Oh, yeah.
So much fun. I'm in Jasmine and Melissa's wedding with Brittany, Kristen, and Zach.
Are they filming that?
I don't know, because I don't think they've announced when.
Yeah.
No, the season hasn't even aired yet, so they're not officially picked up for a 4 until, whenever. So I don't know, but I mean, I'll be there in a bridesmaid dress. And I don't know how I'm going to feel watching it. I know how I felt after hearing about all of the drama and things that happened. Jeremiah came up to me at BravoCon.
And Jeremiah's the producer on the Valley.
Yeah, EP showrunner. But it was just like, so do you still think you made the right decision?
Oh.
And I looked at him and I said, abso-fucking-lutely. And I think he was shocked that I had that answer. And he was like, wait, really? I'm like, do you want it to hurt? Do you want me to feel like, damn, I really missed out and I wish I did it? Like,
well, yeah, they want you to want it, I would imagine.
But I said, no, honestly, everything that I've heard, I am so grateful that I protected my peace and I built out friendships and relationships outside of this that have helped me protect my energy. And I was like, I'm still at BravoCon. I'm still Scheana Shay. I'm still, enjoying all of this. But no, I'm actually really glad I didn't do it. And he was just like, oh.
Well, it would be great, too, is if you repair relationships or even say, the Lala or whatever, that it's done in your real life, not done for cameras,
Correct. But yeah, that is not going to be repaired because the year of the snake has been shed. And one thing I'm doing moving forward is not going back. I now really genuinely understand boundaries. And me setting that boundary specifically, I feel at peace. I don't feel like I'm missing something. I feel like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Wow. Kiki, do you
I think that all my questions have been answered.
Kiki, you don't.
So, to wrap it
Reality
up,
check Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. Dorinda, we got traders coming up. Yeah.
to wrap things up, this week's Jack's Hole goes out to the bloggers and social media accounts who have been spreading completely unfounded and insane conspiracy theories about the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy. The speculation and rumors circulating online are like not only false, but extremely hurtful. And we just want to take a moment to send love and support to Savannah and her family during this incredibly difficult time. And we sincerely hope for Nancy's safe return home soon. My flowers of the week. Do we have anyone that stands out who you would like to give some flowers to on Scheananigans?
My upcoming baby Romy would be great to have some
Yay.
flowers to her. And,
Yes. And to Rebecca for
yes,
being a
and
rock
obviously
star,
to
for
Rebecca-
carrying Romy.
Well, you know what? I mean, you just to jump off of what you just said of bloggers, you know, and I know we don't want to call Kiki a blogger because of Real Housewives of Orange County.
Sensitive
But
subject.
I will point out there's a difference in what Kiki presents as opposed to certain other people. And I, you know, sometimes I even just be like, what is the point here? You know, because it works, but it's like there is responsibility. And, you know, I would argue that if you look at Kiki's post, there's always a responsibility to it. It's a responsible. There's actual reporting. There is more journalistic standards, even when it's not meant to be journalism, than you see. And I think, as Lisa Barlow would say, is frustrating to me, is that the ones that, you know, go crazy with conspiracy theories and stuff, that's the stuff that gets passed around. It's like we don't really ever truly learn our lessons. Like even America's Next Top Model. You know, it's like when you, you know, this was years ago when I feel like you made a shift. Like, did you feel, Kiki, that you're like, I have a responsibility to do things in the correct way instead of, I heard this rumor on Reddit?
No, and that's the thing. Like, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, I went to school for journalism. So it's like I inherently am just never going to feel comfortable reporting on something that I haven't sourced and feel is accurate information.
Yeah.
Even if I know something's like truthful, like, I mean, obviously people were like asking me all fucking forever about Dorinda. And I'm like, I know the truth, but like this
Right.
isn't my information to tell.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's like until you have the ability to like green light and say, yeah. So I already have that inherent in me. And yeah, I like to gossip, but like my gossip's always going to come from like a place
Facts.
of research and facts.
And you are where I get all of my news from. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
But I think that's just something that should be highlighted
Yeah.
as opposed to, I mean, I see a lot of people that are, you know, you want that to be just as successful, if not more successful.
Yeah,
So you can be a
absolutely.
reliable narrator in this space
Mhm.
as opposed to somebody that's just a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
Exactly. And if you guys need some more of your information, make sure to listen to Kiki weekdays on Radio Andy's Reality Checked. You can find her at The Talk of Shame for all of your news, all of your entertainment, all of the things. And catch Ryan's podcast, So Bad It's Good with Ryan Bailey, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Thank you guys for
Thank
joining
you.
me in the
Thank you.
studio today. And maybe the next time we do this, we'll have some baby stuff to talk about.
I hope so. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Definitely.
I've been searching for this all my life.